Hello everyone, we're back here again. I did not expect Sephiroth to come in. I was so happy about it, and I told you guys, okay, so since we made a reference of all the attacks that Sephiroth did before the remake, now that Sephiroth is back once more, we can cover more attacks and where everything came from. There's a lot of things to pick up here, more than you guys may think. I think there's a lot of details that people miss, right? And I want to go into every single one of them. There's a few things that they don't really mean anything. Not everything has a meaning, but I'd say 80% of the stuff that is presented here has something behind it. Obviously, there's a spoiler alert here. There's spoilers even from the remake. There's a big remake spoiler, so there's only one, but be warned about it, right? So I have a few things gathered here. I have noted them down, and I'm gonna point out everything that is here. There is quite a lot. There's like 20 things going on. There's quite a few. So let's just start watching from the start to the finish, and let's get into every single thing. Okay? I'm so happy about this. So let's just watch it again from the beginning. So good. Ah, this is serious. Man, when I was upset down, what could it be? Oh, it's like everyone getting up on the, at the intro. This could be like anything, right? I really like this scene, like with Mewtwo and Zelda, though. Like, could be anything. Heroes, Kalim, ooh, you know. Probably someone was gonna jump in, but I was like, what? Oh no, man. And then this fucker gets cut in two, and I was like, wait. And I said as a joke, oh, it's Sephiroth because he got cut in two. Right? Oh, right. Whatever. And then all of a sudden I hear One Winged Angel, and I'm like, what? I was fucking kidding. Is this really Sephiroth? Now, obviously, this is like what I like because I'm an Alvin Children fan, right? I know the movie's not that great or whatever, but it's one of those movies that is fun to watch when when you just want like dumb fun. It's one of those that is really enjoyable, and I really like how they recreated shot by shot, basically Advent Children from start to finish. Well, not everything, but the start at the very end. Damn, like at the very start, we already have the pose, the very start of Advent Children. Obviously, this is the one that everyone picks up, right? But I think it's important to point everything out just in case, because maybe someone didn't watch Advent Children, right? So this is basically the Advent Children start, like now he's gonna pull the hand up. This is the easy stuff, I put the star stuff, the sky goes up, it's basically Advent Children, now the star goes in, basic stuff. But I'm not gonna put everything that is on Advent Children shot by shot because we could still hear the whole day, right? But you get the idea. The fight scene is right there. If you guys didn't watch it, I would recommend it. The Advent Children complete version is super, super good, right? Super good. So let's just keep going for now. Now this is the classic Sephiroth on flames, the Nibelheim scene. If anyone doesn't know what this is about, just look up Sephiroth Nibelheim. It's basically the boiling point of Sephiroth, but if you're here, I assume you know what this is about. But it's basically the most iconic scene of Sephiroth when he goes insane, right? So it's like... Now, some people are speculating this is taken off when he wins. So if Sephiroth actually wins, and he gets this as a winner screen, that will be the most badass thing ever. Can you imagine? That will actually be great. That will actually be amazing. Alright, so we go with the... One interesting thing, right, about his pose, this seems to be the idle pose here, right? This is the idle pose. And what is funny about it is this is the pose that Sephiroth has when he's winning. He only uses this pose when he wins, which is actually pretty interesting. Because usually, he only has the sword like this on the victory pose. So if we go, for example, to the CDNT, which is like one of the latest iterations, right? When he wins, he pushes this word like this, right? This is his victory pose. So it's kind of fun if you think about it. If this is his idle pose, it's kind of implying that he's already expecting to win, which is such a Sephiroth thing to do. So I am really fan that they're using this as an idle pose, and probably they're doing this because they don't want the sword to take too much space, so it's the ideal one for them to use, right? Because that way they don't take much space. Now, here already, we have the first reference. You may think, well, this is just a slash. This is a slash already exists in other games. The one that is most noticeable, this is the slash from Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. This is his grounded attack in Imperial Wrath. Now, this is the side smash, right? We have, no, the tilt attack. You guys call it in Smash, right? We have the tilt, and this is the smash because it has the flashy icon, like the flash effect on the side, right? So we have the smash and the tilt. Interestingly, these two attacks are taken off Dissidia NT from Sephiroth. So basically, if you look at this attack has 4 slashes, right? So Sakurai, or whoever did this moveset, right, took reference from this attack. So basically, the tilt is the second slash, this one, right? He does his spins after every attack, but you guys have to imagine the slash itself without the spins, and you guys will notice that it's exact same slash. So this is the second slash, this is the tilt, and this is the smash attack. Right? So as you guys can see on the second one, he does that one. So let's just check it out again. Let's just go back. Let's just check it out slowly. Let's slow down a little bit the speed so we can like appreciate it a little bit better. Right? So he does that one, if you can see closely, even though you can see it's the same one. And if we go to the other one, we go to the next one, you guys can see how it ends like that with the hands like that. You guys can see it's the same one, right? Even though he moves the same. It could be a stretch if you guys think about it, but you can see the references of some inspiration was taken from this style of fight at the very least. But I'm pretty sure this is taken from Sephiroth's Imperial Wrath. It's the closest thing we have to it. Obviously, it's not exactly the same. Now, the second reference we could have here, because the hands are closer, is from Dissidia Final Fantasy, the very first one. He has an attack that does a lot of like flurry of attacks, and I'm gonna put on the screen real quick. This is also another option that we have. So this smash attack either comes from Imperial Wrath, the fourth attack, or it comes from Dissidia. Even though on Dissidia, on the PSP version, there's a little flurry of attacks coming out, here it's just the smash attack itself because there's no need to do that, right? So let's just keep going. Let's just keep going for now. Just keep going. Let's go back to the speed. Now this one, we can stretch it a little bit, but this is just the fact that Sephiroth just like stabbing in general, right? So we don't have a lot of stabs on Sephiroth itself, like on the history of Final Fantasy VII. We don't have Sephiroth stabbing very often, but when he stabs, is very impactful. The way he stabs like this is very reminiscent of how he stabs on the Nibelheim incident, right? Especially on the Last Order. So if we go in Last Order when he's going insane, right? Right? So this is, obviously it doesn't have to be this one, it's not this one, but they wanted to make emphasis on the forward stab that Sephiroth does because it's usually very meaningful when like something crucial happens when he does this. So the two instances when he stabs forward in Final Fantasy VII is on the Nibelheim incident and on Advent Children when he stabs Cloud, which, you know, is also referenced later when he stabs Mario. Is basically the same stab, right? So it's not a direct reference, but I guess they really like having like a Sephiroth stab because it's a very meaningful attack, like very impactful when he does that. So it's worth keeping on the moveset. But there's not a lot to keeping here. Oh, this must be like something like, no, there isn't really like nothing specific, but you know, just a little bit of backstory on Sephiroth stabbing. Alright, let's just keep going. Interesting how he can get stuck on the. I really like that he can just stack the sword on the floor, on the wall, so it can just go up, right? Now we go back a little bit closer. I think the physics fucked up a little bit here, didn't they? They got stuck there. I don't think that was intentional, but you know. We got another look at the Sephiroth's idle pose. Again, as I said before, is the one when he wins with the sword in his bag. This is kind of like Sephiroth's most comfortable pose when he doesn't feel like he's threatened. He has his sword on his back, so you know, very, very, very interesting that they're going for that, right? Now, this is the first direct attack that is consistently through Sephiroth lately. Modern Sephiroth, I guess we could say, because the old school Sephiroth didn't have this attack. This attack is Scintilla, right? Scintilla is basically the signature parry move from Sephiroth. He had this for the very first time on the City of Final Fantasy, the PSP or Duodecim, depending on which one you play first. Now we can check here. This is another video that I made on Sephiroth's moves, so I have all the Sephiroth moves compiled here. So let's just go with Scintilla. Well, the Scintilla one is basically he uses as a parry, right? This is the parry. You can see, guys, that it's the same effect, right? Now, the original one is longer. He stabs you first. You have like a lot of attacks at the same time, and then he finishes up. So I will assume that since Smash is like a faster pace game, right? They want to shorter the parry. So what they do is he just blocks you and then he just throws you away, right? To keep things short, because I can assume, I figure that for balance purposes, if they just do the whole animation of like he just stabs you, right? He just stabs you and then he just stabs you and then he does the whole thing. This could be not a very good parry. It could be not very balanced, so they need to short things up. But we can tell that it's essentially Scintilla, right? It's essentially the same thing. Now, this slash is one that is not really anything in particular. The only thing we can tell from this slash, right, is that they really put effort in keeping his style consistent, right? So if we go back to the Cydia, right? Even though it's not the same slash, I really like how they kept, you know, very stylish. They really got the style of his long swings on point. Granted, it's not the same one, but you can tell that it's the same fighting style. So I'm happy that they are keeping his style consistent. They're looking into detail, into how does Sephiroth fight like. So far we can see that a lot of effort has been put into his moveset. So, you know, these graceful, long attacks, right? They cover a lot of range. So it's really good to see that they really like keeping things consistent. So not a direct reference, but consistency on his style, which is what I appreciate from them. So let's keep going. Let's see what next we have here. Alright, so this is basically the iconic pose, right? This is the one that we call, based on like a very old katana style. This is what we call the Te Uregasumi style that we have over here. Let me pull it out here. This is basically the most iconic stance, the one everyone knows. The one that he has, then later on he had the Diablo draw, which is one that we will see later on. It's not very apparent, but I will point out when we have the Diablo draw stance later on. And the other one that we'll see later is essentially the one when he blocks, basically this one. This is, we don't know this because we have not seen Sephiroth block on the trailer, but I can guarantee you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this pose before, right? The pose when he holds his sword like this. I am pretty sure that this is how he's gonna block. Pretty sure. If not like this, very similar. Probably the sword is not like this on the front because it could cover too much screen for Smash, so they want to keep the sword a little bit away from the screen. But I'm pretty sure this is gonna be his block stance. This is just a theory though, but you know, this is what I have. This is what I think they're gonna have. So this is probably his provoke, you know, because he has the little star effect here. So this is probably gonna be the provoke animation, the taunt, basically. This is, I thought at first this could this be Heartless Angel, but I am pretty sure this is Shadowflare. Shadowflare is basically his range attack. The only range attack that he has, he's been having this since the very first Final Fantasy game from the oldest times, you know, Shadowflare. This is the version of the Cydia, you know, it's basically like an explosion that he casts on you. So it's a very interesting approach that they went on Smash, because usually it's Shadowflare basically because you can see the purple effect here. So Shadowflare has this purple-ish effect going on. It's dark, right? But at the same time, it's purple. You can see that palette there. So it is the same. It is the same color. So we can soft confirm that this is Shadowflare. I could be wrong. If it's not Shadowflare, it's Heartless Angel. But I don't think Heartless Angel is in this in this moveset, because that would be really hard to balance, because Heartless Angel has a lot of implications. For those that play Kingdom Hearts, Heartless Angel is the one that puts you in 1 HP, so you know you can't do that in Smash. That will be like too broken. But it's basically that one. So it's just his most common magic attack, you know, so I guess they wanted to do that somehow. It's never done like this when it's some sort of curse that he puts on you, and later on it explodes, as I can assume. This is probably the same swing as before that we saw on the air, but it's the Smash version. Again, nothing in particular, but consistency on his style, so I appreciate that. So that's pretty good. That is probably the Shadowflare explodes over time. They're making Sephiroth not do anything as a demonstration of you probably need to block this, I suppose. If not, you're gonna be sent flying, right? So there you're showing him block. It's interesting how we see that pose on Sephiroth after he stops moving, right here. I wonder why he does this, because this pose is the one that we showed before, this one, right? Doesn't make a lot of sense for him to go like that if we consider that the idle pose is the victory pose. So I am wondering why he's doing this. It can be a provoke. So it seems like that when he's walking and he changes to idle, like from walk to idle, he does this for some reason. I wonder why. There has to be probably something there. Maybe that's how he moves his sword back, like he makes like a swing there. I suppose that probably is what it is. Now, another reference that we have here is the planet core. So one thing that we're gonna see is the fact that basically the new stage that we have here is basically the final battle from Sephiroth from very start to finish. We're going to see a lot of reference to the final boss. So basically, like, this is the start of the final boss. This is the very first stage, right? The first phase, right? When we fight the first boss, and then we go to the second phase, which is this one, which we'll see later on the... We'll see later on the stage. It's not very apparent, but I will pause it so you guys can notice, right? And then we go all the way back to the escape scene, which we'll see in a little bit. Let's just keep going for now. Let's just keep going. Right? This is the part when they escape. Right? This is the ending of Final Fantasy VII, the original one. So they're basically doing the whole ending, basically when the ship gets flying up. Let's go a little bit back so you guys can see it better, right? This is the beam that goes up, as we saw on the, you know, here. The beam that goes up. You guys can tell, right? It's not exactly the same, but you know, it's the thing that goes up. Now the next one is the remix spoiler. This is actually a very big remix spoiler. I'm gonna play it for you guys without context. There's no really anything here. You guys couldn't tell what this is without context, but for those that play the remake will know what this is, right? So we're just gonna play the remake part. I think Sakurai really likes Nomura's work. Like, he's a fan of both Advent Children and the remake, right? Despite, you know, how controversial the ending of the remake is, I personally like it. But, you know, it was a very dividing subject. Seems like Sakurai is a fan of it. So he referenced this very scene. I found it very interesting how they added this bit to the trailer. I don't know why they did that, but I like it. I dig that. I dig the fact that they like the crazy wild Nomura's crazy wild ride part of Final Fantasy VII. So that's very interesting. Now this one is self-explanatory, right? We don't have to explain this one, but for those that don't know, there's actually more to this move. This move actually has a name. It's called Hell's Gate. And it's this attack, right? This is the official name is Hell's Gate. The move on the moves list, we can check it out here. So we go all the way down, we see Hell's Gate right there. So it's the one that makes you descending down. Now, originally this attack can actually be cancelled, basically, in midair, right? Like this. You can actually cancel this attack midair, but I'm going to assume that in Smash, you won't be able to. They're probably gonna make it like a full-on dunk. So in theory, you can actually cancel this attack in midair, right? Like this, and it looks like this. basically. Or you can go all the way down. So the first thing that we spot is like, first there are no rocks on Smash. The attack is just straight up raw, like this. It's just straight up raw. There's really no rocks or anything. It's just Sephiroth stabbing the ground without anything else. I find funny how they have Zelda in it. But, you know, there is no rocks or anything, so it's gonna be like a very standard Smash dunk all the way to the ground. I am going to theorize that you cannot cancel this, but in other games you actually can. So the possibility is there. From an ability standpoint, you can cancel this tank so you can go all the way down. I have the feeling they won't, but you know, we'll have to wait for Sakurai stream to find that one out. Now this one is very funny. I like one. This is basically a reference to Dissidia again. This is the Dissidia sidestep basically. This is basically like this, right? I am interested why they added this, because it seems like they are adding like Sephiroth's cocky style. They are putting like emphasis on that, because you know it's basically like you cannot hit him, so he keeps going back. Although he seems to be receiving damage in the game, so I'm going to assume this is gonna be similar to Bayonetta, where you know you can dodge, right? But like you receive, it could be like some sort of he blocks and then he armors through the attack if you time it right. There's a lot of possibilities here. I'm not entirely sure if this is like, it has to be the normal block, right? Because if you guys see on that very frame I showed you, he was like blocking. So it seems like he has some sort of mechanic where he can armor through a hit with timing. Also, apparently from what did you see, I was saying before, right, that his block was gonna be this one. But seems like I just got proven wrong. Like I thought this was gonna be a block, but as you guys can see here, that it seems to be the blocking animation, right? So I guess I'm not adding that. I wish this was the blocking animation. I think it would have him way more badass and more reminiscent of his style, but I guess that one works as well. But you know, we can have everything. But yeah, this is basically Dissidia's backstep. Basically it's the same thing, but seems to have some sort of gimmick to it, so I'm going to assume it's something similar to Bayonetta's, you know, when you do Witch Time with Bayonetta, basically kind of thing, where you can armor through, but instead of teleporting, you just move back when you time your dodges, something like that. I'm not entirely sure what they will have to wait, but you know, something like that maybe is what I'm thinking of. Now let's see. Now, wow, this is the best part. Let's go. That was fucking beautiful. Now, the first time we see Sephiroth with a black wing is when I've been children, basically on the very last part. We are also gonna see it when this is the part when he gets the wing, and we're gonna see the stab. Remember when I was talking about another important stab on Sephiroth's history? That is the stab right there. Right, so this is the second important stab, the one that could be referenced on the time we were talking before, because you know, and this is when he gets the wing. So obviously a direct reference to Advent Children. I really like the fact that they're adding this. I think this is one of the features on Sephiroth that I miss from on the Dissidia NT, having like that wing. It's super cool, honestly. So that's probably gonna be his limit break. Really fan of it. Gonna be the beautiful, right? So this is gonna be some sort of limit break, and I have the feeling it's gonna work very similar to Cloud. Oh, this stab is actually very spicy. I don't think I told you guys about this one, but stab actually has a very interesting thing to it. So I'm gonna show you guys where this stab comes from. It actually has more than you may think. Sephiroth is weakened because Cloud stabbed him before from behind, right? And if we go a little bit forward, Zack tells Cloud to fight, right? After that, now we're gonna see the very exact same stab. Look. That one, right? Very interesting how they use this stab for Cloud. Right here is basically the same one. And I really like how they added this detail too, as probably the down attack. Right, it's really cool. I really like it how they're adding this one to the moveset. Really interesting how they're going with this one. I might be Maybe I'm overthinking it or overworking it, but I think it's that one. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, guys, but I am pretty sure that is a direct reference to Sephiroth stabbing Cloud on the ground on the Nibelheim incident. Consider how iconic the Nibelheim incident is. I think it's very 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 direct reference. Now another thing I want to point out here on the background is this thing. This is another proof that the new stage for Sephiroth is the second phase. This is gonna be the whole phase of the boss fight basically. So if we go here to the fight real quick, right? We can see the very exact same thing. So we can tell that it's gonna be a whole boss fight cutscene from very start to finish. We haven't seen Safer Sephiroth part. I think they're saving that for the stream, for the stage. But basically, the whole thing is just very, very nice reference to the final boss fight of Sephiroth on the original game. So I am really happy about that one. Now, this is another one. Remember when I was talking about this stance before? So this is one we're talking about, the Iado draw. Now, originally, the Iado draw was used for this attack, as you guys can see here at the very start. Pay attention. Right, we see the Iado draw there. Iado draw was used on Kingdom Hearts 1 as well. Iado draw was used initially as the main attack, right? The main style stance there. So this is what Sephiroth used to fight like this on his very early days, right? He used to use this stance here, as we can see. So the Iado draw was basically the baby's first stance that Sephiroth used. So now the interesting thing is, Sephiroth never used the Iado draw for Octa Slash, right? We're gonna witness it for the first time because this attack is Octa Slash. Now, at first I thought, because at first glance, right? This really looks like a very stronger version of Sephiroth's Imperial Wrath here, right? This one, it could be this one, but like on steroids, right? But it's actually Octa Slash because it's like a mix of Imperial Wrath, as we can see here, because it's really similar to this attack, right? It's basically this attack, but it's 8 hits, so this is basically Octa Slash, but it's a brand new Octa Slash. I'm gonna show you guys how Octa Slash usually looks like, so you guys can get an idea. Right, so let's take another closer look. So Octa Slash is like a very, very specific move. It has evolved through the years, but both on the remake and on the CDNT, they have gone with this style for Octa Slash, right? So on the Smash, they have gone for a very different direction because they cannot have very over-the-top moves on Smash as normal attacks. So this is gonna be like his side smash, I suppose, right? So, but it's actually 8 slashes, so let's count them on a very slow pace, right? Just go back a little bit. It also seems that you can aim where the attack goes, so I'm going to assume this is the side special, and you can do it from the sides, right? So let's just count this. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So we can see it's 8 attacks, it's Octa Slash, right? You cannot make 8 attacks and not make it, oh no, it's not Octa Slash, it's something else, right? So either is Octa Slash, which I am 90% sure it is, but it's like the mixed version of Octa Slash and Imperial Wrath, or maybe they just decided to make Imperial Wrath on steroids, right? Which I don't think so. So very inclined to think this is Octa Slash, essentially. So let's just keep going. What else do we have here? The meteor section of the final fight. So again, got more evidence that this is basically the whole section of the final fight with Sephiroth until the very end, the ending, right? Now, this is the thing that makes me believe the wing is basically the limit break, right? Because this is the very same attack. This is probably Shadowflare on limit break version, I'm speculating, right? And it goes like that, it's just like direct impact. Seems to be very, very powerful. So maybe like a zoning tool, maybe. So I'm inclined to believe that when you have the wing, Shadowflare, the one we So before turns into this. Either that or this is a completely new attack. But I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this is some sort of way to show that when you have the wing, your attacks get enhanced somehow. So maybe we'll see Octa Slash enhanced and other attacks enhanced. Now this is just what I think. We'll have to wait a few days. Very badass, by the way. This is super cool. Like, oh, you guys ain't got shit on me. Get out of here. And you know, as I told you guys before, this is just basically the scene from the remake. The Advent Children. Very cool. Sakurai must love their Advent Children, honestly. Very interesting. Another thing that I want to point out here is the fact that I don't know if a lot of people notice, but while they're like this, Mario is actually still on the top of the sword. Like, Mario is hanging on the top of the Masamune, like Sephiroth Masamune right here. Because if you guys notice, even though all this is happening, Mario doesn't get thrown away until here. So basically, Mario has been up on the top of the sword the whole time. This is just beautiful fan service, you know, the ending of Advent Children, you know, here, basically, you know. Just watch the fights and it's fucking amazing, but it's basically the same thing. Very cool. I mean, you know, very cool the fact that they're giving Cloud his own, like a very special moment for Sephiroth. This trailer is just amazing. It's like 10 out of 10. I love it. The ending of the Advent Children fight, but with a little twist. Because here's when Sephiroth dies, right? On the film. And they're like, hold up. Wait a minute. And then, bam, the Smash colors, right? The Smash attack. The you know, when someone gets the Smash Ball, and then bam. Now we're gonna have the final Smash is gonna be Supernova, which is, you know, everyone knows Supernova, right? That one's like iconic. The 7-minute cutscene attack, right? It's just beautiful. So that was it. That was a lot of things that it might have gone under the radar because we spent here like 30 minutes checking them out. I'm gonna cut some parts, but there was a lot of things that I think went under the radar. And I wanted to tell you guys, you know, a little bit more details of what everything was on the trailer. Hopefully you guys liked it. I'm gonna make another one. Once I watch, I'll probably watch the video on stream on Twitch. So you guys wanna check it out with me, we can all watch it together. And once that one is done, once we see the whole moveset, I will probably make like a side-by-side fully edited comparison because I could not make a proper video because I don't have much time lately. So once we see the Sakurai stream, I'm going to make like a fully edited of what each attack is, all the references, instead of making it here like in OBS real quick, you know, moving the videos on YouTube from side to side because unfortunately I don't have much time today, but I will make like a part 2, right? A proper edited version of all this. If you guys want to know more about Sephiroth's attacks, you know, the history of Sephiroth's attacks on this video that I made here, I go all the way back to Kingdom Hearts and the PS1 version. So you guys have like a whole 26-minute documentary of, like a fully edited documentary of like all Sephiroth's attacks from the very beginning. So if you guys are interested in seeing more of what Sephiroth could have, right? We already have an idea what he's gonna have, but you know, if you guys want to see more details, things that are not added in the game. This video was made before the remake came out, so it does not have remake stuff included. But you guys will notice that a lot of things from the remake were taken from here. You guys will see them on this video. A lot of things from the remake, so if you guys want to see that one, you guys can check it out. But that being said, I'm gonna go for now. And I'll see you guys on the Sephiroth stream with Smash. I will stream it on Twitch and we can all watch it together. We can all fangirl about Sephiroth and we can see if we can catch more things. I would really like to see more. So that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye everyone.